Shannon Ryan versus Emma Dolan, 10 rounds in the 115-pound division. Let's get into it. Let's start with Shannon Ryan, 7 wins, no losses, no wins by way of knockout. Shannon Ryan is a very talented fighter. You know, you can see she's also still developing inside of the ring in real time. She's a confident fighter. She has good movement, man. She's explosive, man. Quick hands, good speed. And those are things that she knows how to use to her advantage and has helped her since she came into the professional scene. When she fought Generic, she had more fights than her from a professional level, more experience, but Ryan was in complete control of that fight from the moment the fight started, man. You know, she showed good offensive skills. I like the pressure she was bringing forth. I like the body shots that she was landing. And again, her speed is one of her biggest assets, you know, and she was using that to her advantage. It was very noticeable in that fight, just the level of speed and skill set in that fight. You could see it. It was very apparent. Ryan had Generic bleeding after the 3rd round, you know. It just seemed like whatever Generic was trying to do, Shannon Ryan had an answer for it. And because she had an answer for it, there was nothing really that Generic could really do. She had some moments where she was landing some nice, good counter punches, nice, good counter shots, but that's kind of all it was. It was just some moments, right? But from the start, Shannon Ryan was in complete control of the fight. He's a very athletic, explosive fight. In her most recent fight, she fought Yasmina. I'm not even going to try to butcher her last name, man. But it was a battle of 2 undefeated fighters. It was a very good fight, man. And Shannon Ryan had to find a way to overcome adversity in order to get that win. I thought Ryan had the first 4 rounds in the bag of that fight. I thought she outworked Yasmina. Yasmina looked a little bit hesitant, a little gun shy in the early parts. Shannon Ryan was slightly busier and edged those early rounds. Now, when the head clash came, you know, that was when things started to become a little bit more interesting. Yasmina seemed like she was starting to be more offensive and starting to build her own momentum. And she came on, you know, pretty strong in the second half of the fight. It was some close fights, some very close rounds. I felt like the aggression and the great start that Shannon Ryan built up in the beginning, she was able to hold on to that lead and she was able to close out the fight and get the win. But she had to do it in a different way, because when you have got a head clash and now you're bleeding and now you're thinking about the blood and your opponent sees you hurt, you know, that can work with you. It makes you more dialed in, makes you more focused, a little bit more defensively responsible, or it can work against you. And your opponent can be motivated by that and inspired by that. And they come forward and really start letting their hands go and using your hurt to their advantage. But Shannon Ryan kept her composure and she found a way to get the win. And that's what you want when you're thinking about championship fighters and the development of a fighter. You want to be able to find a way to come out on top despite the circumstances. And so far, she's done a good job of doing just that. But, you know, this is a different task. It's a different battle, a different puzzle that she's going to have to find the pieces to solve it. But we'll see what she looks like on the night. But let's talk about her opponent, Emma Dolan. 6 wins, no losses, 1 win by way of knockout. Dolan has the height advantage. Going to be interesting to see if she can use her physical advantage to her advantage. I caught Emma Dolan's most recent fight when she fought Nicola Hopewell. Man, Hopewell was trying to close the gap early. Being the shorter fighter, you know, you got to find a way to get on the inside to do what you do best, and that's land your shots. But Hopewell was having a hard time. Every time that she would be taking the risk to come in, you know, she would have to come in and lunge forward with the shot. And sometimes it would connect, but more times than not, Emma Dolan would step back or she would stick that hand out and she would counter with a shot of her own. So when you're fighting a taller fighter, man, you're going to have to take that risk to get in close. And sometimes it doesn't work in your favor. And sometimes you have to take a hit in order to land a hit of your own. And that's what Hopewell was trying to do, but she did not have the greatest amount of success because Dolan was making it very tough and difficult for her to land cleanly. Dolan's a fighter who, if you let her stay comfortable, if you let her get her rhythm and her flow, man, she's going to stay on the outside and she's going to pick you apart. She's going to jab you with the left, come through with the right hand. She fights a very disciplined fight. And if you can't make her uncomfortable, she's going to use those 2 punches and she's going to find her way to win the fight. Nikhila Hopewell is 5'3", Shannon Ryan is 5'2", but they both have different skill sets. But physically, they're not much bigger or taller than each other. They're kind of in that same ballpark. Felt like when Dolan fought Hopewell, there were some close rounds, like competitive rounds. Maybe not close, but competitive rounds. But Emma Dolan was just the better fighter on the night. She was the more disciplined fighter, kept her technique better, and she just did enough every single round to kind of edge the round. And she got the win, but Hopewell's a tough fighter, man. She landed some shots of her own, some nice counter shots, some nice straight hands. And when she would get in close, man, she was able to land a little bit, but it just wasn't consistent. Emma does a good job of controlling the range and finding ways to get back out on the outside where you can't hit her cleanly. But, it was a good fight against Hopewell, man. Emma Dolan's a good fighter, man. She works her strengths very well. And when that fight ended, it looked like she had the conditioning to go a couple more rounds. So this is going to be a good fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight, and I think it's a fight that could go either way. So who wins? Before I give my pick on this fight, I have something real quick to share. I'm always looking to bring more light, more value, more opportunities for the community. I've been working on a few different things in recent weeks to not just grow the channel, but as I said, to continue to provide as much value as I can to each of you in our community. With that being said, I got some exciting news to share. I'm happy to announce my partnership with BetStamp and Sign Up Expert. It's a great opportunity for you to join some of the best sports books to get the best odds and new user offer. All you have to do is head over to my dedicated page at signupexpert.com/the breakdown to explore a selection of sports books tailored to your region, each with its own unique offerings. So if you want to place a bet this weekend and on this fight and beyond, check out the link to find the best options for you in your region. Every sign up does support the channel and it helps the channel grow and to expand and to create more opportunities, not just for me, but for our community. I'm always looking out for you guys as best as I can. You can easily find the link in the description below this videos moving forward. So get down there and check it out and find the best option for you. Now, let's get back to the video. I'm not expecting a knockout in this fight. With that being said, I think Ryan's speed and athleticism could play a factor in this fight. But on the other hand, Dolan's reach and timing could play a factor in this fight as well, too. If Ryan can't close the gap, it could be, a long, boring night. And that is great for Emma Dolan because you don't want this fight to be exciting when you're fighting an athletic, explosive, quick fighter like Shannon Ryan. No, you want to make this a boring fight. You want to make it a comfortable fight for you. When it comes to the complete package of Shannon Ryan, man, I don't think Emma Dolan has fought somebody quite like Shannon Ryan yet. Someone who can move well, someone with the speed, someone that's explosive, someone who can get in on the inside and also be evasive and elusive enough to reset their feet and get out of range as well, too. But, I also don't think Shannon Ryan has fought someone like Emma Dolan from a physical standpoint with good technique, good jab, and can move a little bit around the ring as well, too. So I'm not sure who the favorite in this one, but I would assume it shouldn't be too crazy of a heavy favorite for either women because I think it's a very close fight. 2-minute rounds, it could come down to who's on the front foot more in this fight and who could steal the early part of this fight. Neither woman has devastating power. They're not big punchers, but the way how Shannon Ryan fights, her shots seem like it stings a little bit more. It seems like it's more eye-catching, even if there's not a whole lot of snap behind him. I'm sure her shots hurt, but it's not devastating type of power. Whereas Dolan's power seems like it snaps a little bit better with a little bit more power behind it, but it's still not a devastating blow at the same time. So I think it's a close fight. I think this could be, a split decision type of victory, but I'm leaning Shannon Ryan to win this fight by decision. I think her speed and her volume will be able to help her build up the early part of the fight where she steals those early rounds. Dolan comes on strong in the middle and second half, but I think Ryan does enough early to seal the win on the back end, and I think she wins a split decision type of victory. But I think it's a very close fight, man. I think this is a 50-50 fight, and it really could go either way, but I'm leaning Shannon Ryan to win this fight by decision. So those are my thoughts. I would love to hear from you. How do you think it goes? Who do you have winning? Let me know in the comment section below. I don't always get to do all the suggested videos you guys suggest in the comment section below, but if you become a member, those suggested videos rise to the top, and I will do my best to get those done for you that week. Or if you'd like to become a member just to show love and support to the channel, man, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video this long, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, we'll definitely see you next time.